Wisconsin's new collective bargaining law remains on hold tonight, and it's going to stay that way for a while. A Dane County judge today extended her temporary restraining order on that measure. She is considering whether Republicans pass the law legally. We have balanced coverage tonight. Dane County Judge Marianne Sumi began the court hearing with an explanation. She talked about why she amended her temporary restraining order on the budget repair bill. She said it had not been legally published and is not in effect.
There was nothing presented to suggest, and nothing by way of argument that would have suggested that it was that the law was in fact published.
She ended the day by saying the new order would not change in the near future.
It remains in effect until further order of the court.
In between, the state tried to show that the March 9th Joint Committee meeting violated state open meetings laws. It didn't give 24 hours notice and did not grant enough public access. The Senate chief clerk testified that when he told Senator Scott Fitzgerald the meeting was legal, he was not sure if enough notice was given.
It's not possible to say with 100% certainty that 2 hours notice was given. I know that now, but at the time I made those comments, I did not.
The Republicans, who are defendants in this case, argue that they followed the rules of the Senate. They also argue they have legislative immunity in the matter, and that keeps them from becoming involved, so their side was not heard in court. The judge says their stance puts things on hold.
They're entitled to their day in court, but it doesn't mean that they're also entitled to have the restraining order vacated until they no longer can assert immunity. So I will continue this hearing.
Judge Sumi wants more legal arguments from both sides on how long the immunity should last. That means at the earliest, the next hearing would be on May 23rd. The matter could be resolved if lawmakers waived their immunity, asked the judge to rule without their testimony, or if the legislature went back and took the vote again with proper notice. That is what the district attorney is urging.
It's been stated on the record they could do the hearing over. They could take the vote again, give 24 hours notice.
Well, today, Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald responded to that point in particular. He said today that they passed the law correctly and legally the first time, and passing the law correctly and legally a second or a third time wouldn't change anything. He says it certainly wouldn't stop another activist judge or a room full of lawyers from starting the merry-go-round all over again. And the other big question is, when does legislative immunity end for lawmakers? The law says at the end of a session, but it's unclear if that means the end of the legislative session, which is July of 2012, or at the end of their term, which is January of 2013.